My name is Théodérade, Queen of the Franks, wife to King Eudes, who valiantly defended this land against chaos and invaders. I speak now to you, not as a figure of history, but as a woman of flesh and blood, who bore the weight of a crown in a time of turmoil. The year was 888, and the kingdom lay fractured, scarred by the death of Charles the Fat. The realm, already weakened by the relentless assaults of the Northmen, yearned for stability. Eudes, my husband, was chosen to reign, not through divine lineage, but for his bravery. He was the first to repel the Viking siege of Paris, proving himself not just a man of words but of deeds. And I, as his queen, shared in his burdens and triumphs. I remember vividly the coronation in Compiègne. The hall was cold, and the weight of the crown upon my head seemed to mirror the enormity of the responsibility placed upon our shoulders. As the bishops anointed Eudes, I prayed silently, asking for wisdom and strength. For I knew that this would not be an easy reign. Our kingdom was beset by external foes and internal dissent. The great lords, ever hungry for power, questioned Eudes' legitimacy, whispering of the young Charles, a boy who carried the blood of Charlemagne. The years were arduous. I often stood by Eudes as he rode to rally the nobles, to defend our lands from Viking raids, or to quell rebellions. At times, I would accompany him to council meetings, where alliances were forged and promises made under duress. As queen, I bore witness to the fragile balance of power. The nobles were fickle, their loyalty bought with gifts and favors, and yet Eudes managed to hold them together with his steadfast resolve. Within the walls of our court, I sought to bring some semblance of peace and culture. I encouraged the scribes and poets, hoping to inspire unity through the shared stories of our past. I wrote letters to abbots and bishops, securing their support for Eudes' rule. Yet, there were moments when I felt the isolation of my position. As a queen, my words carried weight, but they were often constrained by the expectations placed upon me as a woman. I cannot speak of these years without recalling the shadow of the Northmen. Their longships brought terror to our shores, their warriors fire and death. I remember hearing the screams of villagers who sought refuge behind castle walls, the smell of smoke that lingered for days. Eudes fought them tirelessly, leading his men with unmatched courage. But each battle took its toll, not just on his body, but on his spirit. There were nights when he would sit by the fire, his face worn and his eyes distant, and I would take his hand, offering what solace I could. Amidst the turmoil, we had moments of quiet joy. The birth of our children brought light to our lives, though they too bore the burden of our uncertain times. I dreamed of a future where they might inherit a kingdom at peace, where the scars of war would fade, and the land could flourish once more. By 898, the strain of years had weakened Eudes. His final days were somber. I watched over him, my heart heavy with sorrow, knowing that his sacrifices had kept the kingdom from disintegration. When he passed, leaving the crown to young Charles, I prayed that his efforts would not be in vain. As I recount these memories, I hope that history remembers Eudes not merely as a king who ruled, but as a man who gave everything for his people. And I, Théodérade, his queen, stand as a testament to the strength and resilience required of those who bear the mantle of leadership. These years taught me that power is not only in swords and crowns, but in steadfast hearts, unwavering in the face of adversity. If there is one thing I wish for you to take from my story, let it be this: greatness lies in the courage to endure and to hope.